3, 2, 1.
You are an irresistible magnet with the power to attract unto yourself everything, absolutely everything that you desire. You know, I say that at the beginning of every one of our gatherings on Sunday. And I think I've mentioned this before, but I want you to know that that comes from a woman named Vitura Papke, who was called the practitioner's practitioner. Now, a practitioner is someone who you come to sometimes for spiritual counseling, but always to have them remember the truth about you. You may come and you may vent about what's going on in your life that you're not so happy about. And what they'll do is not necessarily counsel you like a therapist might, but they'll know the truth about you, know the spiritual truth about who and what you really are, and remind you of that fact, I guess, as well as that truth. Well, she was considered the practitioner's practitioner. She was big time. In fact, she was Ernest Holmes, who wrote the book, The Science of Mind, where a lot of this teaching and philosophy comes from. She was his practitioner later in his life, the last few years of his life, and she's very famous for that. I want to welcome you all to our affirmative incantation concert, you might say. Actually, the concert is for the book, The Affirmation Revolution. That's what we're all about this morning, is working a little bit of this book, my book that I wrote this year, that is out there and available for you right now on ebook or softback on Amazon. And we have a concert this morning with a lot of music from our pal, our producer, our director, our in-house singer-songwriter, Steve Apperson. So I want to make sure before we go forward to welcome you to the Affirmation Revolution concert. But getting back to Vitura Papke, the original quote that this came from, that I say at the beginning of all of our gatherings, is an affirmative incantation itself. And you might say, well, she didn't call it that, but we'll call it that. Here it is. I'm going to pop this up on the board, and it's our first slide for this morning. Here is the original affirmative incantation that Vitura Papke wrote. You can read along with me if you like. I am an irresistible magnet with the power to attract unto myself everything that I divinely desire, according to the thoughts, feelings, and mental pictures I constantly entertain and radiate. I am the center of my universe. I have the power to create whatever I mentally choose and accept. I begin choosing and mentally accepting the highest and best in my life. I now choose lavish abundance for myself and for all mankind. This is a rich, friendly universe, and I accept its riches and hospitality now. Wow. Wasn't that powerful? Wasn't that fabulous? Oh, I love that. I love how she wrote that. She didn't call it that, but might be the first to write such an affirmative incantation. Well, like I said, we're talking and taking a lot of things from my book, The Affirmation Revolution, this morning. And in the preface introduction of my book, I wrote this. I said that success is 95% mindset and 5% strategy, skills, knowledge. Your mindset will determine whether you have a life of happiness and success or not. Your mindset is the engine that powers you to your success. This concept is found in psychology, neuro-linguistic programming, and similar modalities, and is touted by personal transformation gurus and coaches of all kinds. Your mindset is the key to achieving your goals, desires, requirements, and potential. These affirmative incantations are the fuel to propel that engine. And then I quote Napoleon Hill, who said, "Any idea, plan, or purpose may be placed in the mind through repetition of thought." Through repetition of thought. And as you look in the Affirmation Revolution book, you'll find instructions on how to use these affirmative incantations, and that is to speak them. Let's say go beyond speaking them, experience them every morning, right when you wake up, and then every evening, right before you go to sleep. You can pick any one. You don't have to pick the one that is that week of that month if you don't like. Pick one that's going to work for you that week. And right before you go to sleep, you experience it again, so that when you go to sleep, that's the last idea that is rolling around in your mind and in your life. I continue in my preface by saying, I call these affirmative incantations, or AIs, because sometimes I just write AIs in the book. Because by using them, you are not only affirming these ideas into your consciousness, but you are also making what you might once have thought impossible possible. By incanting these affirmative ideas, you are actively summoning up feelings, which in turn inspire the subconscious mind into a new perception of yourself and life. Feelings. Words are important. I say that all the time. And the words that I wrote in here, I went over and over and over again, like any author, to make sure they were the most powerful, that they flowed, that they told a story, that they empowered the empowerment that is already within you. But the feelings that you feel as you say, as you experience the affirmative incantations is just as important as the word itself. You know what? You were born to be reborn anytime. At a moment's notice, your moment's notice. And in giving that notice, you release yourself from the tyranny of your past junk-filled ideas, opinions, perceptions, and beliefs. As Patrick Henry said in 1775, "I have but one lamp by which my feet are guided, and that is the lamp of experience." That lamp that he's talking about is the light from which Spirit illumines us, from which it shows us the way, steers us down the path of wisdom and love, and awakens us to release that magnificence that may have been temporarily forgotten. That's okay. We all do it. We all temporarily forget who and what we are, the magnificent power and presence that is within us at all times. That's okay. It's temporary. Because that power and presence, that magnificence is always available in the universal mind that is within each and every one of us, within you right now. It is an innate power that never, ever parts. To paraphrase Samuel Adams, not the beer maker, this battle, my friends, is not to the strong alone. It is to the vigilant, the active, the brave. To be bold and tenacious in our spiritual practice, in using the affirmative incantations in the Affirmation Revolution book. To honor and love where we are, knowing who we truly are, and moving forward with what we have decided to be, we shall overcome the slings and arrows of outrageous misfortunes that might have happened in our life, that might be too settled in our belief system. We can overcome those. It was said in the American Revolution, was it Patrick Henry who said, "Give me liberty or give me death"? Well, in the Affirmation Revolution, it is not death of the physical we speak of. It is the death of that which no longer serves us, that which we declare liberty from. The woe was me life, the lack and limitation life. Sam Adams also reminded us that we have no other alternative than independence or the most ignominious and galling servitude. And so I declare that I shall not be in galling servitude to those junk-filled ideas, those stupid opinions and perceptions of the past and beliefs of lack of and limitation of woe is me and I can't, of shoulda, woulda, couldas and maybes. I will not be a part of that. And I am knowing for you to not be a part of that anymore in your belief system or in the experiences of your life. So join me in the Affirmation Revolution and declare with me your readiness to take action. Let us now together experience this final affirmative incantation for this morning, for this broadcast together. And as the 7th slide pops up, read it with me. No, experience it with me as we say together, I am ready for success. I am ready for prosperity. I am ready for great health. I am ready for loving relationships. I am ready to see and live the light. Give me liberty and give me life today, tomorrow, and forevermore. Now you can purchase the book, The Affirmation Revolution, on Amazon as either an ebook or soft cover. And I want to thank you all for joining us today and bless you for stepping into your own affirmation revolution. So peace and blessings on a most fabulous week. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much. Namaste.